Investor confidence in cloud storage is sky high. Value of the cloud. 2015 was a big year for cloud investment. I'm not going to read through every single item here, but you can pause it and take a look at it yourselves, or click on the link I'll put in the description and you can come take a look. So we've got, here's the pie, and here's a slice of the pie. So we've got SanDisk and Western Digital both putting in $19 billion in 2015 into cloud technology, infrastructure, investment, whatever. The Alibaba Group, Sun Commerce Group and subsidiary, 2.26 billion. So I'll just scroll through here slowly so you can kind of see. Okay. So this chart on the left hand side, we have yearly cloud deals from 2010 to 2015. Deal value in US dollar down here, so 0 billion to 120 billion. The years obviously along the bottom, and the red is indicating number of deals, and the white is number of deals with known values. So starting off, I'll just do the first and the last. 620 deals were made in 2010, with 540 of those being known values. So it's round about $18 billion in 2010 worth of confirmed deals. And now it's 3 times that number in 2015, just 5 years. So it's 1,805 deals. 1,333 of those are known, with a value at, looks to be $108 billion. So it's gone from 18 to 108 known values as well. Obviously, we could be exceeding that. And this is sources Zephyro, Bureau van Dijk 2016. Now these charts we have on the right, cloud spend shows rapid growth in global IT infrastructure budgets. $54.6 billion expected to be spent globally on cloud IT infrastructure by 2019, up from $33.4 billion in 2015, plus 32.2% year-on-year change for public cloud IT infrastructure spent from 2014 to 2015. 0% year-on-year change from non-cloud IT infrastructure spent from 2014 to 2015. So this is telling us that everything that is being spent is coming from the public's requirement for storage of data. So everybody's storing Facebook photos, whatever, all online. That is where the market is coming from. Confidence in venture capital investing by sector, ranking from 0 to 5, with 5 being the most confident. And this is self-explanatory, so moving on. Top 10 largest public cloud computing companies. Market capitalization in $billion. 2008, $17.9 billion. 2016, $123.5 billion. And here's a breakdown of some of those providers. LinkedIn, $25.7 billion. Salesforce, I don't know who that is, $46.4 billion. Deal driving trends in global tech, M&A. Deals from the fourth quarter of 2015. Average deal value is based on disclosed value deals, while volume of deeds includes both disclosed and undisclosed value deals. Bubble size is based on each trend's share of total global M&A value in the fourth quarter. So it's showing that storage is 4.5 billion. And the one I'm looking at is security. Is down here, which is only at probably the 0.5 billion mark. So from a market that is producing $108 billion of investment this year. In 2015, only 0.5 billion went into security. And that's the reason I'm reading this article, is because I see all this online service storage facilities wide open to data breaches. You see it all the time. I've even done a video on the data breaching with the so-called anonymous hacking on one of my last videos, and how the US and the Chinese are always back and forth hacking each other's technologies, companies, storage houses. If anything is secured in the cloud, any form of data that's on there, encrypted or not, there's always backdoor entries. But it looks like it's a growing trend. Investor confidence in cloud storage is sky high. For technology investors in 2015, cloud was king. Money continued to flow to the cloud storage sector, where a total of 1,800 transactions were made in 2015 for a total value of more than $100 billion. The largest of these deals was between two storage giants, with SanDisk getting gobbled up by competitor Western Digital for a $19 billion price tag. Cloud storage, which allows users and businesses to store vast amounts of data remotely, has been in heavy demand lately, with approximately 2.5 quintillion bytes of data created every day, and more people seeking to stream movies, video games, and music from the cloud on a regular basis. There is no other option but to grow the industry at a breakneck pace. Cloud 9. Why is the cloud another level above many other tech sub-sectors competing for investment? The answer is simple. Cloud is already proven to be effective, and it can scale, while the true viability of trends such as the Internet of Things, IoT, robotics, VR and AR, the artificial intelligence are still under scrutiny. Cloud storage is being used effectively by millions every day. It's why Amazon crashed its most recent earnings report with $2.57 billion in revenue, a 64% increase just coming from its Amazon Web Services cloud play. It's also why, according to a Lotto survey, venture capitalists are most confident investing in the cloud sector over many other technologies. It's no surprise that quality startups focused on the cloud have no problems raising money. Enterprise SaaS startup Slack, which raised $160 million in 2015 and another $200 million in 2016, was selected as the Company of the Year according to Inc. magazine. It has been one of the fastest growing startups ever, reaching a $1 billion valuation even before its product turned 8 months old. GitHub, a repository for software code, had the biggest raise for cloud-focused startups last year. The 7-year-old company raked in $250 million at a $2 billion valuation to expand internationally and to invest in new products. A cloudy horizon. Despite a projection of $54.9 billion in annual spend going to cloud infrastructure by 2019, one major concern still remains about the future of cloud computing. The cloud has vast amounts of sensitive data stored in a single place, making cloud providers a particularly attractive target for hackers. With the average cybercrime in the United States costing the company $15.4 million, organizations are actively seeking to shield their digital assets from the millions of cyber attacks launched each year. Cybersecurity is becoming a mission-critical feature in both enterprise and government budgets moving forward. If enterprise customers lose faith in cloud's ability to keep data secure, there will be a ripple effect on investment and industry growth. For further reading, you can get an idea of what these companies are facing. Here's a recent list of the treacherous 12 scrutiny threats that organizations face when using cloud services. I'll just quickly flick over to that and have a quick look. The dirty 12 cloud security threats. Threat number 1, data breaches. Threat number 2, compromised credentials and broken authentication. Number 3, hacked interfaces and APIs. Threat 4, exploited system vulnerabilities. Account hacking, malicious insiders, the APT parasite, parasitical forms of attack. APTs infiltrate systems to establish a foothold, then stealthily exfiltrate data and intellectual property over the extended period of time. Number 8, permanent data loss. Number 9, inadequate diligence. Number 10, cloud service abuses. Number 11, DOS attacks. Anonymous. 12, shared technology, shared dangers. And that's that. So I'll put a link of that in the description as well if you want to go through that and have a little read as well. And that's it, guys. Why the lottery is a regressive tax on the nation's poorest. Every year, America spends a mind-blowing $70.1 billion on the lottery. That works out to an average of $630 per household, representing more money spent on gambling than on books, sports tickets, recorded music sales, video games, and the movie box office all combined. America's spending in 2014. Lottery, sports tickets, books, video games, movie, box office, music. This is according to data visualizing expert Max Gelker, who published a series of posts and visualizations on the economics of the lottery in his Metrocosm. The numbers he provides are both astounding and alarming, ultimately making a convincing case that the lottery is a regressive and inefficient tax on some of the nation's poorest people. Let's start with the economics. Here's the maths on the New York lottery, which is a starting point to understand the inefficiency behind lottos in the first place. The path of a New York lottery dollar. So the guy goes down to a shop and buys a ticket for $1. The dollar goes to the retailer, who takes 16 cents of that $1, which passes 84 cents to the lottery commission. From there, 1 cent is taken for advertising and 1 cent is taken for operating expenses. You've then got 34 cents going into public education system, and you've then got 1 cent coming in from unclaimed prizes, totaling 35 cents, which then goes down here and is actually taken as state general tax fund. So from the remaining $1, only 48 cents makes it to the prizes. 52% reduction before the prize draw has even taken place. So 2 cents is taken for city tax and 10 cents for federal income tax. 4 cents goes to state income tax, which is added to the public educational system, totaling 39 cents. And then up here, only 31 cents makes it through into the prize draw. New York City imposes a 3.87% withholding tax on winnings of more than $5,000. To sum up the maths, 51% of each dollar goes to tax revenue, federal, state, and municipal. 18% goes to covering expenses such as advertising or retailer commissions. This is the part that makes the process inefficient. 31% of each dollar goes to the prize money, and that basically sums up the terrible odds behind winning in the first place. In other words, for every $3 spent on the New York lottery, less than $1 is paid out to the winners, while the other $2 is going to expenses and tax revenues. The house advantage. As Max notes in one of his posts, the lottery itself is not a tax, but the artificially inflated price of lottery tickets ultimately ends up as an indirect excise tax. Just click this link and have a quick skim. August 29, 2015. The lottery is a tax, an inefficient, regressive and exploitative tax. In 2014, Americans spent $70 billion on the lottery. When lotteries give money for education, tax dollars get pulled out and spent elsewhere. Most state lotteries pre-commit or earmark their money for a particular cause, usually education. This should come as no surprise if you've ever seen a lottery commercial. Supporting a good cause is one of the primary messages they use to promote themselves, both to players and to the voting public. It's true, the lottery money does go into a special fund for education, but that only serves to free up tax dollars, which get pulled out of education and spent elsewhere. And in the end, the schools are no better off. The lottery is not a tax. The inflated price of a lottery ticket is. It's common to hear people call the lottery a tax on people who are bad at maths, a tax on the stupid, but it is really fundamentally different from a tax. I wrote a post back in June examining the lottery as a tax, and it led to several debates about this very question. To settle the matter, I reached out to an expert, Professor Ross Rubinstein, an education policy and public finance researcher at Georgia State, who has authorized several papers on lotteries. According to the Professor Rubinstein, quote, revenues raised by lotteries can be viewed as an excise tax on one item, lottery play. He sums it up well in this article published in National. I'm not going through 10,000 articles, so I'll get off that before I get sent down the rabbit hole on that. Choosing to play the lottery is voluntary, but much like sales taxes, the inflated price of lottery tickets is not. It is illegal for anyone but the state to run a lottery. So unlike casinos, which face competition from other casinos, lotteries operate as a monopoly. So they can set their pricing artificially high, or equivalently, their payout rates artificially low. The, quote, house advantage of different betting games: craps, 0.6%, blackjack, 1.2%, roulette, 5.3%, slots, 10%, horse racing, 19%, and the lottery, 35%. While it is true that many people stay away from lottery tickets because the odds are not in their favour, there are groups of people that are far less fortunate. They and their families bear the brunt of inefficient lotto economics, as well as the house advantage. Who's buying lottery tickets? Lottery sales follow the 80-20 rule. It turns out that 82% of sales come from 20% of the players. Many of these players are compulsive gamblers, and many also come from the lower income brackets. In this post, which includes some key assumptions, Max shows that the lottery tax is a significant burden for many low-income households, even in contrast with other taxes. The Lotto tax. Tax paid on this side, lowest 20%, second 20%. So I think this is representing the lower 20% of earning people in the US, and then the next 20%. So this represents the bottom 40% of people. So the bottom 20% pay $1,000 in tax. Is this a year? And the next 20% are paying $697 on average per year in tax. This is only a guess because that's not actually that clear to me as to if that's a yearly cost or what, because there's no tax paid, there's no year stamp on it, but I'd assume that's a yearly. But that was just a quick little article I thought was quite interesting purely because of viewing this, and that's why it's not really worth playing the lottery. You're better off putting it into one of these other investments that I try to talk about on this channel, and this is just throwing money down the drain unless you win. Thanks for watching. 620 deals were made in 2010, with 540 of those being known values. So it's round about $18 billion in 2010 worth of confirmed deals. And now it's 3 times that number in 2015, just 5 years. So it's 1,800. You can pause it and take a look at it yourselves, or click on the link I'll put in the description and you can come take a look. So we've got, here's the pie and here's a slice of the pie. So we've got SanDisk and Western Digital both putting in $19 billion in 2015 into cloud technology, infrastructure, investment. Investor confidence in cloud storage is sky high. Value of the cloud. 2015 was a big year for cloud investment. I'm not going to read through every single item here, but yearly cloud deals from 2010 to 2015. Deal value in US dollar down here, so 0 billion to 120 billion. The years obviously along the bottom, and the red is indicating number of deals, and the white is number of deals with known values. So starting off, I'll just do the first and the last, whatever. The Alibaba Group, Sun Commerce Group and subsidiary, 2.26 billion. So I'll just scroll through here slowly so you can kind of see